I read the book Hunger Games for the first time. And for those unfamiliar with this book, it's a story about a world where people are forced to fight for survival each and every day. They will live in a harsh and controlling environment that dictates their every move. And these people never really get a chance to thrive in their life as they're too busy trying to just survive. And at the time when I read it, I was 10, 11. I thought it was a gripping dystopian novel, for sure. But something wild and far, far removed from the reality that we live in. But as I grew older, the more books I read, the more movies and documentaries I watched, the more I simply paid attention to the world around me, the clearer it became. Our world has its fair share of these toxic and controlling environments. Now, it may not be as dramatic in real life, but we will all encounter situations where relationships enter our life disguised as love, protection, and support, and but later leave us questioning our very sanity. Now, let me prove that. Pause for a moment and think back. Have you ever had your voice silenced, your opinions dismissed, and your self worth constantly diminishing in an environment? Now, think about it. I'm sure most of you have had your fair share of these situations where, despite your best efforts, you feel drained after spending time with some people. But the thing is, most of the people don't really understand the detrimental impact these toxic individuals on our lives and how important it is for us to understand how to navigate ourselves out of this environment at the earliest. Well, a very good morning to all of you. My name is Eva Raj and I'm a ninth grader at F School Hebal. Today, my talk is about navigating toxicity and the steps you can take to break free from its grip and ensure you never fall back into this trap ever again. So, it's divided into two steps. The first step is recognizing toxicity and the signs you can use. Firstly, toxicity hides in plain sight, cloaked in what we've been taught to accept as normal. For example, take social media. It's meant to connect us, right? Yet how often do we see it doing the complete opposite, fueling anxiety, competition, or even bullying? Or take movements like Me Too, where toxic environments have thrived in silence for years. And they become such a part of our daily routine that we have stopped questioning them or questioning these individuals. But toxicity doesn't just manifest in global platforms or in public platforms, it also seeps into our personal lives. For example, it can manifest as a friendship, a relationship, or even within families or your community. Have you ever had someone make you feel small in a situation? Maybe it's a subtle sting of a friend's passive aggressive remarks, or a family member or a classmate who makes you feel small or belittled. The thing is, these relationships aren't just painful, they are suffocating to you. And after a while, it's just, you just meet a limit. But the thing is, most of us continue to be in these environments because when we raise our concerns, we're labeled as over dramatic or oversensitive. But why is all of this so detrimental to your mental health, and why should you leave this at the earliest? Well, pay attention. The information you get always travels up your spinal cord to make a pit stop first at the emotional center of your brain. Now, what does this emotional center do? It determines if it's a threat or information to be retained. But however well intentioned, it treats all threats the same. To emphasize, a harsh criticism comment gets the same treatment as an oncoming truck in traffic. So, when our brain declares something as a threat, our brain goes into fight or flight mode where it diverts precious chemicals away from our cognitive functions like learning or understanding. So, when a person is already dealing with hurt, anxiety, or stress, and you expect them to understand something you're forcing upon them, it's not just painful, it's just impossible, downright impossible to make them understand that way, which is why it's so important for us to ditch fear based motivation to make someone listen to you and instead focus on a more collaborative and positive approach that nourishes rather than depletes our cognitive reserves. Now, one of the most overlooked yet the most important sign of recognizing toxic environment is the unacceptable fear of returning to your home or support systems. No person, regardless of their age, should ever feel fear of returning to their support systems. Your home should be a sanctuary, a place free of judgment. And if you feel compelled to spend more time outside just to escape that environment, it's a glaring red flag that something is deeply, deeply wrong at its core. Now that we've recognized the major signs, and we know what toxic environments mean, it's very important and significant for you to understand that if you're ever trapped in such a situation, you must accept it because you can't fight what you refuse to see. Now, the next step is overcoming this hurdle. Now, we've recognized it, but how do we overcome this and leave those individuals and environment behind to go forward in our life? Now, in toxic environments, some people, no matter how much you explain or you hope, will never value your perspectives or opinions. And I know sometimes that's a really tough pill to swallow, but instead use this mindset shift. Prioritize your peace over proving a point to them. That's it. And what does reclaiming power really look like in situations like this? It can be as simple as saying no when a person crosses a boundary, or as transformative as leaving a relationship or an environment that makes you feel limited, small, or belittled. Now, imagine you carrying this heavy, heavy bag filled with jagged rocks. Each rock symbolizing the negativity and judgment and manipulation you've absorbed onto yourself over the years. Now you're just dragging it along with you in your life, somehow believing that's your responsibility to do so. But what if I told you you can drop this bag of negativity? What if I told you everything you're looking for and you need is already within you, waiting to be unleashed? Drop the bag, let it go. It's stopping you and it's keeping you further away from the bright future that you have. And as you start to let go of all the emotions that you might have felt, the hurt may linger, ghost of what once was. But with that realization also comes immense empowerment. You realize that you're stepping into a new life, rebuilding the strength and identity that was taken by you in these toxic environments. You're stepping into your new life, your new journey, and leaving behind these individuals that do not align with your path or bring you down. So, what now? We've discussed how to recognize toxicity, the detrimental impacts of why we should completely eradicate toxicity from our life, and how to do so. But this doesn't just take awareness, it also takes action. So remember Charles Darwin's famous words: it's not the strongest of species that survive, not the most intelligent or brilliant, but the ones most responsive to change. So I ask you to reclaim your power and in doing so, change the world around you. Seek support from friends, mentor, or a counselor because you don't have to navigate this alone. Reclaim your power and change the people around you as you choose who deserve your energy. Thank you so much.